Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the Planet Mikey podcast. Please be sure to subscribe to help keep this podcast alive. It's the Planet Mikey podcast. I'm Vince Popolopopolo, and now here's Mikey.
Vince Popolopopolo. You know, I think he's got a Popolopopolo in his pants.
He might have one, but he's wondering. He contacted us over the weekend. Wants to know where's his $15.
Yeah, whatever. Now, here's the thing. He can sing, yes.
Yeah.
We're not sure about his character. I think I've read things on the bathroom walls in Vegas that say, Vince Popolopopolo for a good time and all that shit.
You know what they say about character. It's just a jerk with personality.
There you go. Welcome to the Planet Mikey. By the way, musically, Bill Smith has taken over this program and made it better.
You think?
By adding talents like Vince Popolopopolo to the broadcast.
Vince, it was hard getting him. He's always booked.
He's always busy, and then he holds out for $15. We are brought to you by. First of all, I got a lot to unload today. I got a little bitch session going to happen. Some facts, some figures, and a very interesting story about a Hollywood legend. And it's exclusive. This is exclusive content, Smitty.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And subscribe to this, because otherwise, honestly, Smitty and I will just take off. We'll get out of here. We'll go to like Barbados and use the money that we don't get from this podcast to pick up chicks.
Oh, man.
I'm in a dream world.
Yeah.
So you go to the YouTube channel, Planet Mikey Podcast, subscribe. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. That doesn't mean you have to watch every episode like say, your mother would if she were a listener.
And it's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. It's never more than about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
We don't ever do these long-ass podcasts. We go bang, bing, boom, in and out, just like our sex lives.
And you may learn something. Miss a little, miss a lot, they say sometimes.
That's right.
Sometimes.
I used to tell people on my radio show, if you're tuning in late and you miss a little, you miss a little. On this show.
That's right.
We're brought to you by the world's greatest coffee cake, my grandma's coffee cake. It comes in many flavors. It's got lemon poppy. It's got green apple. What's that?
And I just finished that blueberry one you brought over.
Green apple. The blueberry one, was that good?
God,
they're
yeah.
always good. They got chocolate. They got all these flavors, and they're the greatest cakes on earth. Just go there, or go to 1-800-8-GRANDMA phone number, or go to mygrandma.com. Order your goddamn cake and enjoy it.
Oh, man.
And think of me when you're eating that cake. Now,
Yes.
we are available on iHeart, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts, Joe.
Let me say that again.
Wherever you get your podcasts. But subscribe is the most important thing, because this is important.
Yeah.
Now, I had a bad experience on the way here today.
You have trouble?
I got this card in the mail that said, your transponder is not reacting, and you're getting racked up with that they charge you by the license plate if your transponder and Easy Pass isn't working.
Oh, I've seen the sign. Don't worry. We'll send you a bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what? The bill, it's twice as much for the tolls so they don't have any rush to tell you that your transponders, because they're collecting double on your plate. I finally get a card in the mail.
Wait a minute. So, in other words, if I don't have a transponder,
Yeah.
they don't charge you the usual 75 cents.
It's
whatever.
more.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Why don't they tell us that?
Because your transponder gets you a discount, supposedly, and it's still a screw job, because you know what? The people in Massachusetts that go up 93, 95, everywhere, Route 2, they don't pay tolls. But if you're on the Mass Pike, like I am and have been for 30 frickin' years, you got to pay the tolls coming east to west.
Let me ask you this:
And it's a shit highway that you pay for the privilege of sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic every goddamn day.
I hear they're updating the transponders. Do they send you a new one
Well, here's the problem.
for free?
I have 4 cars. As you know, I do a little part-time driving on the side. And I have 4 cars, and I got 4 transponders, right? So at one point, one of them was missing, or I changed cars or something. I don't know. So they say that I reported this transponder as lost or stolen, and it's the one I've been...
Oh, there you go.
It's the one I've been using in my Uber, in my Lincoln. So now that I've been getting charged double, I pay these bills automatically. I'm on an auto pay system with Easy Pass. $65 I get a bill every month or every 3 weeks or something like that. That's a lot of money.
You do a lot of driving.
So now I've been driving and racking up. So I get the cards and I call the Easy Pass, the toll-free number, and I say, 15 minutes on hold. I get to a guy. He says, yeah, this one is not transpired. I said, which plate? They gave me the plate number. It's the one I'm driving. So they said, you got to take it to the Easy Pass service center and turn it in and get a new one. That's straight. Okay. So I go there today.
Yep.
I'm on the Mass Pike. I walk in. I got the transponder in my hand, and I say to the guy, he runs through with my record on there. It says, it says you have 5 transponders. You're only allowed to have 4. This one's been deactivated. It was lost or stolen. I said, well, I've been driving on a thing. He said, well, that's how you're racking up charges on the extra money on this. Oh, come on. So he can't take it back and reactivate the one right there. He can't take care of it while I'm there at the Easy Pass Center. No. He says, you got to find out what happened to this other transponder. Now I got to go home and look for an old transponder or figure out which one matches these numbers. He gave me this form here, and it's got all the different transponders. Here's the yellow thing here. That's my 5 transponders that he says I have. And I gotta go home, figure out by looking at the numbers on each transponder, then taking it back to the Easy Pass Center again for the privilege of getting charged $65 every 3 weeks for this Easy Pass thing. Now, you know what they're doing? With all due respect, they're fucking you every step of the way on this deal. It's crazy. Now, add to that the fact that our DOT, I just heard this on the radio today. Maura Healey is livid.
Really?
Because she found out, darn it, that some of the DOT employees are putting in for overtime time, and they're not even anywhere near their job sites or what they do, and they found millions of dollars of overtime fraud in the DOT, and you think they can take care of this problem for me with their overtime? No. The DOT is screwing Massachusetts. Massachusetts is screwing us, and I'm getting screwed.
That's not right, Mike.
And here's the transponder right here, the fucking thing.
Wait a minute, is that the one that you...
That's the one that's deactivated because it was lost or stolen. Clearly it's not stolen. I have it. All right, I had to get that off.
That was good.
I'm due for a Snapple. Now.
What else you got, Mike?
Oh. And I got a number. They give you a number. First of all, you go into the Easy Pass Center. There's 2 people sitting there doing nothing. And one of them is a security guard. He's a security guard, and he goes, yeah, you got to take a number. So I take a number. There's nobody here. I want to take a number. I can walk right over to the counter. No. Take a number. Oh, A19, and now 19's my lucky number. Not so today. I go over there. The guy's ready to tell me, why did I take this paper? You waste this paper, and then I got to, come on. It's just stupid running in charge of stupid.
Follow the rules, Mike. God, jeez.
So I told the guy, I said, you know what? This is not convenient. I said, I understand. He goes, but I said, I know it's not your fault, but this sucks. The guy gave me a look like, okay, y'all done? Get out of here. Anyway, that's your state Commonwealth government working for you.
Our tax dollars hard at work.
Yeah. So it's, they suck. Now, Easy Pass sucks, DOT sucks, Massachusetts sucks, the Mass Pike sucks, and everything sucks. But you know my favorite expression, right?
What is it?
So what?
Oh, so what? You don't care.
So what? Now, last week I mentioned the worst trades in Red Sox history, and I left out a few. But the one guy I want to mention, it wasn't even a trade. It was a free agent signing. The Red Sox lost this player, Smitty. I don't know if you remember the name Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarber, you talked about him once before.
Yeah, and he got away. He spent a part of a season with the Red Sox, and he's now on the Phillies. And with all due respect, he strikes out a lot. But guess what? He smashes the ball when he hits it, and he's like Babe Ruthian in his prolific home run numbers. Here's an example. He's had 207 home runs with the Phillies in about 4+ seasons. He's averaging 45, 50 home runs a season. Now, he strikes out 200 times a year, but he's interesting to watch because he smashes the ball. And the Red Sox, what do they need? They need power in their lineup. They're lacking home run power. If they'd kept Kyle Schwarber and he was the DH, they'd be fine. They'd be in first place right now. So I'm pissed about that. Kyle Schwarber has had more home runs in the last 4 years than Shohei Ohtani, the highest paid player in baseball. You know, the Japanese phenom, Smitty.
Yes.
And just a few home runs fewer than Aaron Judge, that gigantic Yankee creep.
Here comes the Judge.
Yeah, so he's second in the last 4 years in home run production and amongst the superstars of the league with the power numbers. The Red Sox need that. So that was stupid, letting Kyle Schwarber go, and they've never recovered. And do I sound like I'm in a bad mood? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
Yeah.
I'm really in a good mood. All right, I'm in a bad mood when I talk about Ayanna Pressley. Ayanna Pressley has been opening her mouth. Her hate-filled, racist.
She's still talking about the reparations.
She hates white people so much. It's just so racist.
Well, we're at fault
And
for
she's
everything.
She's got no hair.
It's true.
She made a comment last week where she said, well, the Trump administration is shutting down the black vote and this and that. He'd rather have black Americans picking cotton than picking their representatives.
Oh, is this because of the redistricting or whatever?
Okay, shut the fuck up. That's so stupid. Anyway, the other thing she said, which is really weird, is she said that this country was built on the backs of black slaves, and she didn't mention that then, when it was time to burn down a city, it was the non-slave black people that did that. But it's like, it's a really, really bad thing to say in America, that white people are the enemy and reparations are due. She's saying that reparations should be paid because this country was built. And okay, first of all, just let me say this about reparations, and that's all. Nobody likes what happened prior to the Civil War. And many people don't like some of the things that happened after the Civil War, okay? But there are no people that were slaves and no people who owned slaves. So you're asking people who didn't own slaves to pay people who never were slaves for reparations for shit that happened 160 years ago.
It's like the sins of the father. But you know what?
It's so stupid.
Wasn't it the Southern Democrats that owned the slaves?
Yeah, it
Isn't
was.
that what the war was about? They didn't want to give it up.
And they ran the KKK. And the Democrat. It's not even about a party system. It's about what she's just distorting history as a purveyor of her own form of racism, which is hating white people. It's not necessary, and she's an asshole. Okay, she's stupid, and I'm really embarrassed that we could elect her in Massachusetts.
Well,
okay?
shouldn't represent us, like all the other Democrat people that get elected. We don't get represented.
In an unrelated story,
What's that, Mike?
it's a Planet Mikey mug, not available in stores or anywhere else for that matter. Why did I hold it up then? They hold up something they're trying to sell.
You can win one of those cups
You can?
as soon as we have some made. Yeah.
As soon as we have some made. Did your maid quit?
Mike, don't piss me off.
I'm
okay?
sorry. In another unrelated story, by the way, coming up in a few moments here, an epic, the Robert Vaughn saga. Okay, I'm going
Really?
to get to that in a moment. But first, let me get all this negative shit off my chest, Smitty.
Go ahead.
So I can feel better about things. I think Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert are both assholes. I have for a long time. I don't think Jimmy Kimmel has any talent. Now, Jimmy, who's the other dude?
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. He's got some talent.
He does, and he's funny.
Jimmy Kimmel has no talent, and he's just an asshole.
Wisecracking smartass.
And he doesn't even write that shit.
Somebody pays him big money to do that.
What a douchebag.
Yeah.
Stephen Colbert too, who has did you see his ear? He's got half an ear on the right hand side. I think it would be this side, this ear.
Yeah.
Where it's all like weird and distorted and not even there. Half of it's not there. I don't know. I focus on that when he's on camera. I look at his retarded ear that he's got. Anyway, they have this self-aggrandizing, ass-kissing session on his final show. Stephen Colbert. And here's why when I say his final show,
Hold
I
on,
laugh.
You watched the show?
No, I taped it. I wanted to see the first 3 minutes to see what kind of asshole he was going to be on this particular last show.
Okay.
And then I said to myself, you know what? Mike? I said, yes. You've never watched the Stephen Colbert show. I said, you know what? You're right.
Yep.
I've never watched it because I don't like him.
Same here.
Jimmy Kimmel, I never, ever, ever watch. And they wonder why late night TV is not Johnny Carson or David Letterman anymore or Jay Leno. No, because it sucks. And these people they get all political and they turn into dipshits. I can't watch it. Here I am turning political and turning into a dipshit right now in front of your eyes.
To some.
God. So goodbye, Stephen Colbert. I hope Jimmy Kimmel follows you out whatever door he's going to go through because you're both douchebag assholes. Okay?
There you go. You said it, Mike.
There. And that's the last thing I want to say about that. By the way, I pulled out this shirt. I've worn this only 14 times on this podcast.
Well.
I have a comfort zone. I dress for speed and comfort, Smitty, not to try to impress people.
But the blue is very becoming.
Remember when the old disco era, they'd say, come out to the disco, we're going to have a dancers contest, dress to impress, they'd say. Oh, go fuck yourself.
Oh, man.
Impress this right here.
Oh.
Now, I know I'm weird. I'm a little bit weird today.
What else do
And
you
what
have
set
there,
me
Mike?
off was that Easy Pass shit. That shouldn't happen.
That would set everybody off.
I told the guy, I said, I paid dearly for this service, and now I got to come back here again?
I especially like when you walked in, there's no one there, and they tell you to take a number.
Take a number. and the number was A19. Look, here's the proof right here.
Yeah.
Look, A19.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that's it. And so what do I do with this number? I held it in my hand for 1.5 seconds, and I looked over when the guy was doing nothing's waving me over. There's no one doing anything. There were no customers there. And with the prices they charge, it's no wonder. A19 my ass.
Thanks, Mike.
Sorry. That's my motto for the day. Easy pass my ass. All right.
What else you got over there, Mike?
I got lots of stuff.
Go ahead.
I don't have a Snapple, though. You know, I would get up and get one, but it would disrupt the entire...
Would you like me to go get you
No.
one? No. I'd be
I,
happy.
you know what? You keep talking, though.
Okay. So I'll talk while Mike goes to the next room. And over in the next room, there's a little refrigerator. And the little refrigerator is the type of refrigerator you would find at a college dorm. And it's loaded to the brim with Snapple, different kinds of Snapple. And he'll come back with one in just a moment if he didn't get lost. There he is. It's Mike with some of the greatest stuff on earth.
The best stuff happens live.
Thanks, Mike.
Did I ever tell you about that cheerleading squad I banged live on TV?
And by the way, do I get paid for that little interim, that interlude where I just had to fill in for you?
No, but you can have a free Snapple, Smitty.
That's okay.
They're in the refridge. Okay, that's much better. You know, 'cause I get worked up.
Yeah.
Not often enough, but I do. You want some history?
What kind of history, Mike?
Well, this is time to tell the epic tale of the Robert Vaughn story.
Robert Vaughn.
Now,
You
some
mean the
of
guy
you-
from...
Yeah, yes.
Man
I know.
from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yeah, I knew you'd know.
Yeah.
Robert Vaughn was an actor. He's no longer with us. He died in 2016. But when he was alive, he did a lot of stuff, including The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is probably his signature television piece. But he was... okay, so here's what happened. Eric Evangelista, who's been a guest on this podcast, and he's a very talented producer, owner of Hot Snakes Media. He's got reality shows all over your internet and your networks.
Nice guy.
He's a very successful guy, and he was a young whippersnapper producer on my Emmy Award-winning broadcast of the SportsWorld on NECN back in the 90s. And he always brought in people. If somebody interesting came to town, you know, to sign autographs, like we had the Love Boat cast come in on the show. It's live TV. We had the two guys from Adam 12 come in, comedians. He'd bring in athletes. He brought in all kinds of good guests. And he decided he was going to try to book Robert Vaughn, who was representing the First Alert fire alarm systems at
I remember those ads.
autograph show. He also, he was also famous for the Mark E. Salomon. He means business.
Oh, that's right.
That was him
You
too.
get that look on his face.
But he was an actor starting in 1955. He was in his career. He's in Gunsmoke, The Rifleman. He had a lot of guest spots. Zorro, which was my all-time favorite. In 1959, he was in the Rebel. Do you remember the Rebel?
Yep.
Johnny
Johnny
Yuma
Yuma
was a rebel.
rebel. Yeah.
He was a Confederate soldier, and they made a series about him. In this day and age, that wouldn't happen.
No.
He was on Laramie. He was in the epic movie Magnificent Seven.
Really?
He was in Wagon Train. He was in Bonanza, The Virginian. He was in The Untouchables with Robert Stack. He was on the Dick Van Dyke Show. I mean, he had a lot of appearances. But The Man from U.N.C.L.E., starting in '64, really broke him out as a star. Everybody knew who he was.
Was it Napoleon Solo?
Napoleon Solo.
That was his name, yeah.
We have a picture of Napoleon Solo and Mr. Waverly and Ilya Kuryakin, who was his Russian spy mate. They were spies, basically.
We do have that picture.
And Uncle, there they are. Mr. Waverly, played by Leo G. Carroll. He died like about 100 years ago. Robert Vaughn with the hair parted on the left. And then David McCallum. Now, these were the men from U.N.C.L.E. Now, U.N.C.L.E., I was a huge fan of that show. I was like 10, 12 years old. U.N.C.L.E. stood for the United Network Command for Law Enforcement, U.N.C.L.E. So the man from U.N.C.L.E., he was an agent, a spy, looking basically during the Red Scare era, for communists and shit like that. But he was big on that show, and he became like this, almost like a teen idol. Then he was in the movie Bullet. I don't know if we have a picture of that.
I think we do.
He was in the movie Bullet, which was a tremendous, maybe the greatest car chase scene in the history of cinema.
I agree.
Steve McQueen with his Mustang and chasing people around the streets of San Francisco. There's Robert Vaughn with Steve McQueen in the movie Bullet. He was also in a movie called Towering Inferno. Do you remember that? Paul Newman was in that?
Yeah.
He was in Columbo. He was in the series Police Woman with Police Bosom. Remember that show?
I do, yes.
With Angie Dickinson?
Yeah.
She had a wreck. Angie Dickinson, yeah, that's a long time ago. So Robert Vaughn's been kicking around for a long, long time, right? He was on Hawaii Five-0. He was on The Love Boat. Later on in your career, you have to do these other series. He was on Murder, She Wrote. This guy's kicking around for a long time. But when I met him, he was a spokesman for First Alert Fire Systems, and he came in to the TV station to do the live broadcast of the SportsWorld show. I was all excited. I said, "Oh, man from U.N.C.L.E., blah, blah, blah." So one of the producers brought in his Man from U.N.C.L.E. lunchbox from when he was a kid.
You probably did your homework for this appearance.
Well, I already knew everything about Robert Vaughn.
Yeah.
But he brought in this lunchbox. It was a Man from U.N.C.L.E. lunchbox that he had since he was a kid. And they were all excited. The whole staff's excited to meet Robert Vaughn. Oh, the Man from U.N.C.L.E., this is great. So he gets there, and he's wearing a First Alert. There he is. Now, that's when he was disgusted with me at that point. Save that picture. I'll tell you why he was disgusted.
All right.
He comes in with his First Alert jacket on, and he's thinking to himself, I got to do this shitty cable show, live, local origin, LO.
Do you know who I am?
And he says, and he goes, "Now, I'm happy to talk about anything," he says, "but the one thing I don't really care to talk about, if you don't mind, is the Man from U.N.C.L.E." I'm thinking, that's all I was going to talk to you about. I didn't care about any of this other shit, really. I didn't. I go, really? He goes, no. He goes, all right, well, it's too late. You know why? Because the show's already planned. You're here. It's live TV. I thought to myself, guess what? I'm going to talk about the Man from U.N.C.L.E. anyway. I got him.
Is that why he doesn't look too happy?
So, yes, and it got worse. Yeah. So he comes on the set. We go live. Yeah, it's Robert Vaughn. I said, so how's Ilya Kuryakin doing? He says, David is fine. I talked to him last week. He's doing great. But he had a look on his face like, I told you. The look on his face was, I don't want to talk about the Man from U.N.C.L.E. Here you go, right from the get-go.
Oh.
I said, fuck it. I got nothing to lose. He said, he's not going to come back again.
This is live TV.
Live TV.
Yep.
So we talk a little bit about this and that. Man from U.N.C.L.E. And he throws out a couple things. And all of a sudden, here comes Larry Haber. Larry Haber was one of the cameramen. And Larry Haber had a voice just like Winnie the Pooh. You'd say to him, "Hi, Larry, how are you?" He'd say, "I wish I had a jar of honey." He was like this really squeaky voice guy, little guy. And he comes walking out with the lunchbox, man from Uncle. And here now, interrupts the show to get Robert Vaughn to sign this. "Mr. Vaughn, could you sign this? This is live TV." I'm laughing. I said, "This is great," because he had a very exasperated look on his face. So we do the interview with Robert Vaughn. Then we get up the obligatory, let's take a picture. And that's the picture. Look at his face. He's like, "Get me the fuck out of here with this goofball asshole who talked about the man from Uncle with me, that son of a bitch." And I said to myself, I am never, ever going to buy a First Alert alarm system for the rest of my life. And if I need a lawyer, it ain't going to be Mark E. Salamone. I don't care if he means business. Because Robert Vaughn was a dick. But I guess it's my fault for talking about something he didn't want to talk about. But let me ask you something. He's out there doing autograph shows. Everybody's asking him about that. It's probably why he's sick of it. Mm-hmm. But now he's dead, so it doesn't matter. He died 10 years ago.
It'd be like asking William Shatner about Star Trek.
Well, yes. But, I mean, you have to expect that when you're known for something, that people are going to ask you about that, you know? I mean, if you're Nolan Ryan, people are going to say, "Oh, what about that no-hitter you threw in the..." You got to get used to it.
Oh, that again.
And you don't turn into an asshole like Reggie Jackson where you just shun everybody. Get away from me. I don't want to talk about that. It's just not that. You're famous for a reason. Grip it and rip it. Don't nip it. And be snippet. So anyway, that's my Robert... That's my... Now, when the Love Boat crew came in, they were all great. They loved... Martin Milner and Kent McCord from Adam 12 came in. They were great. They loved talking about all that shit. But Robert Vaughn, I think he got meaner when he changed the part in his hair. See how it's parted on the left?
Yeah.
Comb to the right?
Yeah.
I think we have another picture of him when he's older. And he started parting his hair on the other side. And maybe that turned him into an ornery... washed up thespian.
Is this the one here? Maybe let's see.
Let's see. That's it. Yeah. See, he parts it on the right.
On the other side.
Exactly.
Because he was going bald.
Yes. Now, he played 3 different presidents in various TV movies and stuff like that. For some reason, he played Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson, and he's had a lot of parts and a lot of action. If you look at his IMDb, it's filled with appearances, but it's usually one episode. Oh, The Love Boat. One time. But anyway, God rest in peace there, Napoleon Solo. By the way, you know what Napoleon, the original Napoleon's middle name was?
No.
Torres. Did you know that?
Oh, and I thought you were setting me up for a joke.
No, he was Napoleon Torres Bonaparte.
Okay. All right, I believe you.
Robert Vaughn, everybody. I don't know why I laugh at that picture because I'm like, perfectly happy to be interviewing Napoleon Solo. He's like, "Get me out of this
doing with this?
I gotta get this rinky-dink shit." Anyway,
asshole with a mustache. I'll
Now-
kick his ass.
no, you're a musical guy, Bill. You know all the old songs from
Oh yeah, I know them all, every single one.
from way back when.
Yeah.
I heard a song on the radio, and I thought, maybe I could suggest to Joe and Jerry that they could do this song in our entertaining and informative and educated fashion.
In our musical segment.
What? Yes, because we are culturally we're so diverse.
That's true.
So I heard this song on the radio, and I said, I remember this song. It was a one-hit wonder. And the song was called Backfield in Motion. And I said, well, that's a football term. I'm trying to remember the song, and I started humming it to myself. And then I looked it up, and it was recorded by Mel and Tim.
1966, maybe?
Yeah, 69.
Okay.
Mel and Tim were 2 guys. They were cousins. And they got together and recorded this song because their mother was a singer, too. And I don't know. She probably used her life savings to get them some studio time to record Backfield in Motion. Now, the record was successful right away. It actually went to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 1969, and that was a year that was filled with great music.
You're sounding like Casey Kasem.
And here's another song. Here's a song recorded by a pole vaulter in 1967 when the pole went up his ass after number 3 in Billboard's Mel and Tim, and it was number 10 on the pop chart, number 3 on the R&B chart in 1969, so which is very, very respectable. Now, Tim and his cousin Mel, Tim McPherson died on the 4th of July in 1986, and he must have been like 30-something years old.
Oh.
I don't know how he died. There was no further information available. I wonder what happened to Tim. And his cousin, Mel Hardin, died on January 18th, 1990. 4 years later, he must have been like 40. So these guys died young, and that goes to show you two things. That you don't ever do anything with your cousin. A, and B, you watch out for backfield in motion because it can hurt you in the long run. And we have Joe and Jerry here, Smitty,
Yeah.
to prove that lyrically for the listening audience with their version of Backfield in Motion, originally done by Mel and Tim in 1969. So enjoy, and thanks for listening. And don't forget to subscribe, you butt cheeks.
I'm going to call up your avatar right now.
Backfield in motion. Yeah, I'm gonna have to penalize you.
Backfield in motion, baby. You know that's against the rules, Joe.
Offsides and holding. Yeah, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, baby.
Offsides and holding, Joe. You're holding on to someone else.
You know you're cheating, baby. You're a whore and a bitch. Faking the bout.
Harsh, Joe. You know you're balking, baby. Strike 3, you're out.
And I caught you with your backfield in motion. That's your back door. I'm gonna have to penalize you.
Backfield in motion, baby. You know that's against the rules.
First down. You start cheating on me.
Second down. I was too blind to see.
Third down. You know I love you so.
Fourth down, baby, I gotta let you go.
'Cause I caught you with your rear end in motion. You're gonna have to twerkalize me.
Backfield in motion, baby. You know that's against the gosh darn rules.
Now you'll see. Oh, yeah. Just how I felt.
You beat me to the punch, honey. But you hit me below the belt.
You caught me with your backfield in motion. Yeah. Gonna have to penalize you.
Backfield in motion, Joe. You're in trouble now. You know that's against the rules.
Backfield in motion. Offsides and holding. Backfield in motion.
Double dribbling, Joe. Double dribbling. Flipping honey, baby. Backfield in motion, Joe.